Are there switchheads, and welcome to my review of Mechanic Battle. Within this game you can buy, fix, mod race cars, and also I'll give you the chance to win a key for yourself later on. But before then, subscribe to the channel for more weekly reviews and sales videos, and like this video to help the channel grow. I'm Kanan, and let's see what sort of engine this one's got under the bonnet. Engage. And just before we get started, those lovely people at MobilWay have given me 2 free copies of Mechanic Battle to give away. One for the EU UK and one for the NA, which I believe is the US, so stay tuned later on in the video as I'll be giving them out randomly. And so, Mechanic Battle melds 2 genres into one. The mechanical side of car racing having you buying rust buckets and fixing them up in your garage. There's actually more to this side than I actually thought, with the ability to not only paint the car but also to change, to upgrade and mod and get down to the technical side of things. Okay, let's jump into the car mechanic side of things, shall we? So you got this, you can buy cars. I really centered on one, to be honest with you. Then you got car parks. I'm not a mechanic. I know bugger all about half of these, but luckily enough, they actually tell you what they do. And if you know your shit, then obviously you'll know a bit more about this sort of stuff and be able to, do it a bit better. You can buy all of these for hard-earned cash from racing. And then you go into the fine tuning. This is like putting weight there and doing this and doing that. Will basically make you accelerate faster, make you brake better and all that lot. The NOS is pretty cool as well. You can have that short or long. And then you get to paint your car whatever you want. I went for red. And then there's different patterns, different patterns on your car, different wheels that you can put on. Let's see. And then there's actually little mini games that you can play on these as well. I actually like that one, but I'm gonna show you this. That's what I'm gonna do. So basically, by holding the screw down, the faster you go, then pressing X. Oops. And then apparently, but you can actually cock up on all of this, and you can actually pay someone to do it realistically, as you do, of course. So let's get this one in. As you can see, I'm really good at this. And then let me just go and pay someone to do it for me. So yeah, there is quite a lot, but there's not quite as much as I thought there'd be, and there's not the in-depth that I wanted to have there. Like when I change certain things, I would like to see something change. That might just be me, I suppose. Of course, and as you probably expect, not all of this is free, and you'll have to start earning cash in order to keep the mods up. And this comes in the form of racing. This will involve you racing on different courses and a few different types of races. Starting on amateur, you will need to complete a certain amount of actual tracks in order to go to a league, and then once you've done the league, you go up a league, and then you have to start again by going, well, just listen. Okay, this side of it's actually quite easy. So once you actually start on, well, you're a novice to start with. I've gone up a league. You have to complete, as you can see, a certain of these races, whereas there's race, elimination, and hot lap, which is basically, time trial, if you like. Complete them, then you go on to this champion down here league, and then basically you have to go through all of that, complete it within a certain rank, top 3 I believe. I came first, and then you go back to something like this, complete a certain amount of these, and then go back. It's a bit of a loop. It kind of does work. I can see it getting more and more repetitive as you go along though. Okay, so it's time to win a EU UK code. The first person to leave a comment of mechanical win, those 2 words, mechanical win, gets the EU UK key. Good luck, and moving on. The racing itself is a top-down style, as you can see, and controls are rather simple. Maybe a little too simple for my liking. Okay, so the controls are basically accelerate, brake, and then you got a NOS, and then of course you can turn and all that lot. The only thing that I don't like about these controls are the fact that I have no handbrake, and the brake isn't handbrake-ish enough, as you can see, to make me slide around corners. And this is a shame, because I really think this would have, well, really added something to the gameplay, but they didn't, unfortunately. And so, controls aside, the car handles okay, but did take some getting used to, as it's rather light feeling and feels a little bit weird to start with. Luckily enough, when you do upgrade the car, they do handle a little bit better. Not that I'd say it's perfect, but it's enough to actually help you driving, and I wish there still was a handbrake. Of course, all this could have been my imagination, and I just got better at controlling it. We will never know. Don't get me wrong, it's okay, and with practice feels enough to race with, and upgrading the car does yield better results, I think. And handling and the speed, etc. That definitely improves. And I will say there's even a boost, as I showed earlier, and this can be adjusted for different results. But I felt it lacked the oomph I would have expected from hitting that little red button. Yes, on my car it is red. Putting both styles of play together was a great idea, and there's plenty to do here if you're willing to grind a little to get to it all. I felt with what the game wanted to achieve, it managed to do it fairly well, and that's all. It's not a bad game in any shape, but it's just not the game I thought I'd be playing. I am happy they actually didn't overprice it, which is probably a good thing. It has an air of mobile feel to it, but with a little bit more polish. Visually, it's not too bad, with the mechanical side rather basic, and could have done with a little more to do, or give you that feeling of you're actually doing something cool with these cars. Although the little mini games, whilst again basic, was kind of a nice little feature. Although I have to say that the races felt a little bit strange, with the cars more or less not taking damage through mostly all the time that you spend in those races. Although I have to say more or less a highlight for me was when you're racing certain tracks, you could be above, i.e. on higher ground, and some of the cars that may or may not be ahead of you could actually be on lower ground, and you can actually see them racing still, which was a pretty cool little, I don't know, effect. It just added to the immersion of it. Audio wise, again, I felt it was okay, but I also felt it was lacking a few sounds, or hard hitting sounds like the boost and crashing. The music, while kind of repetitive, was pretty decent and felt like it belonged. The good. Plenty of races and progression. A nice concept. I liked earning cash from the races, then getting to spend it on your car to improve it for, well, coming races. I also enjoyed the fact that, well, you can actually do something outside the car to make it look different, like the spoilers and all. The bad. Grindy at times. Feels a little throaty to control. I really would have liked this to be a little bit more in-depth. Even though I don't understand too much about the mechanics, I still would have liked the opportunity to get in there and do more. Really wanted also to have a little bit more details as you actually do up your cars. You know, see the insides, the bonnet coming off and things like that. I'm thinking maybe that's a bigger budget and maybe something for the sequel if they do one. Although it's not the best game I've played, it's still fun and can grip you once you figure out the controls and start earning them big bucks. I also felt like it was priced about right, kind of. And with that, I'm going to give Mechanic Battle a 3 out of 5. And although I don't think it will appeal to everyone, it's still got a lot to offer. And before we get to your chance to nab a copy of Mechanic Battle, why not subscribe to the channel for weekly reviews and sales videos, and like this here video, as it really does help. And as for the alternative, well, let's just be giving you gamers in the NA, US, I believe, a chance to win a copy. The first person to comment below win battle, that is win battle, will nab yourself a free key, NA, US, however that is worked out. And with that, I do have a few more giveaways coming up soon, and the best place to keep up to date on those and further the conversation is in the community Discord. The link is down below. Because life is better when we switch together.